Yeah, hi guys, it's Stibe here again, and I'm pretty dead. The draft is behind. I have got to sleep 12 hours altogether for last 2 nights. Doesn't matter. I'm gonna do this video anyways. Basically, I'm just going to tell the thought process of mine during uh, this draft, although I don't really know if I had that much of brain activity during those last rounds. Just because it was very late in Finland. It ended 4 a.m. my time, and I had been awake consecutively for like I think 20 hours, I suppose. However, uh, the plan that I originally uh, sorted out was that I want to build as annoying team to build against as possible. My team was to pick a lot of mons that uh, could do multiple purposes. Like they could be defensive, they could be offensive, they could be maybe cleric, maybe pivot. Could function on both physical and special side, things like that. And my original plan was to use my OUA and OUB picks as well for this purpose as possible, and then my UU and RU picks to kind of balance the bulk around my first picks, and then just pick the best possible mons from NU and PU, because I feel NU and PU are very important uh, tiers in this, especially in this particular league, when they are 1/3 of the entire draft. So it's really a big difference if you have to build against 8 or 12 mons, or if you have to prepare for 8 or 12 mons. Uh, at some point, I was almost deciding to franchise Nidoqueen, but I decided not to, and I don't regret it, although Nidoqueen would have been great. Just wanted to say this. And now, if you are not familiar with either franchising or how this draft how this ranking system goes, it's basically there are 6 tiers. On average, you can pick 2 from each tier. And franchising, because I am a newcomer in this league, I had an option to pick any mon that was not used in last season. So I was thinking, at some point I was thinking of Dragonite, but I did it, and also Nidoqueen, but I didn't pick that either. Anyway, let's get into my draft. So the morning before the draft, I just, I was thinking that my plans, they lack a lot of speed. They lack a lot of speed. And I also thought, okay, if I get sniped on these certain walls, what do I do? I thought, okay, I Wait, there's Politoed. I mean, that's a decent water type wall. Not the best, but would it be like too bad to try and build around rain? And I realized that actually that's what I want to do. But of course, I'm not going to bring Politoed first because first of all, nobody else is going to pick it. I have no need to rush it. But that's what I'm going to build around. My first pick is Clefable because I thought that Clefable is a mon that is relatively easy to build around. Other ones that I was thinking were Ladios, Mega Charizard X, Mega Scizor, but I dropped Mega Charizard X because I'm not going to use it with Rain. Mega Scizor, I just the plan with Politoed I came up with. I wanted a more or less expensive Mega for me, so that's why I dropped Mega Scizor. Not that it would have definitely fitted my team, but I didn't pick it. So I took Clefable. It's very versatile mon. It's easy to build around, and competitively Clefable has insane versatility. It gets to very amazing abilities in Magic Guard and Unaware. Magic Guard that I don't take any undirect damage, and Unaware I can ignore the stat boosts of my opponent. Also, it gets aromatherapy. It can be a cleric. It gets healing wish. It gets actually pretty cool offensive coverage. It can utilize life orb with that magic card, and it gets knockoff actually. Well, I didn't even know. Cool. You can set up screens, set up stealth rock, T-wave, wish. You can barely drum, but unfortunately, Clefairy doesn't. I mean, Clefable doesn't get any great offensive fairy type moves. Also, the thing I wanted to pick Clefable first round was that there are few good fairy types, so I thought that they are going. We are going to run out of them pretty soon. My next pick was I mean, it got sniped. My replacement for my for that got sniped, and these two mons were Ladios and Ladias. I like Ladios and Ladias because of their versatility. They have very nice move pool especially for this format. They have an option to defog. They can they have a ground immunity, and they can drop Dracos. So I was a little pissed off when I saw them both go before I got the chance to pick my next one, but I decided to go. I mean, I almost was going to go with Zapdos because it could do what Ladias in terms of dodging ground type moves and defogging, and it also got Volt Switch. But at the last moment I decided, no, I'm not gonna do that. I want to possess more threat with my pick, because if I can't be threatening enough with my rain team, there's no point in the entire idea of picking rain. So I go with Goodra, which belonged to my original plan, but I was going to. I mean, I decided to change my plan so that Goodra is actually my primary dragon. I mean, I actually think I ended up getting a pretty interesting substitute for Ladios, but it's not Goodra. I was going to pick Goodra anyway, But I decided to pick Gudra now before this was not my substitute for Ladios. I wanted to pick Gudra now so that I could decide what I want to use as a substitute for Ladios. And Gudra was a good pick because I got a snipe with it. Waffles was going to pick Gudra. I don't know if he had intentions to pick it next, but I sniped him anyways. And Gudra is very cool because he gets 3 abilities with a good use, and especially the hydration makes a nice synergy with my rain. Also, Sap Zipper is very cool and gooey. Every one of these 3 abilities can be used very nicely, and also the thing I liked with Gudra is that in this league it was UU, whereas in GBA it was ranked in tier 1, which is the equivalent of OUA, and that was I had to take advantage of this. And what Gudra can do offensively is just insane. He gets Draco Meteor and an insane coverage of offensive moves. Also, I can use Rest to synergize with Hydration and Rain. And the stats are just ridiculous. I mean, defense is my only bad stat basically. But I'm very fat, or this Gudra is very fat and nice offenses. I think this is a very solid pick. Okay, going on. I thought that I want to substitute my Ladios or replace or whatever the word I should use here to place a Pokemon over Ladios. I was thinking of Tornado Stibe because it would synergize nicely with Rain with his Hurricane, but it got sniped because I didn't I didn't pick it as my second pick. So my next plan was to pick Scissor. Now Scissor did not get picked at all, but I just at this point I looked which other mons there are for to be used, and I saw that Excadrill is unpicked, and I didn't really think it. I just was like, hey, this is the best offensive Steelmon in this format, maybe alongside with Mega Scissor. I'll pick this. I have experience of using this mon in this format, so I'll go with it. And first I wasn't satisfied with this because Scissor would have maybe fit the idea of the Rain team much better, but looking at what other teams ended up being, I think Excadrill is a very nice mon as it can make holes to a lot of cores in the opposing teams. Of course, the main ability for Excadrill will be Mold Breaker, but Sandrush can be used. It's especially good when people probably won't expect it because I am Rain team. Also, the nice thing about Excadrill is that if somebody likes to counter my Rain team with Sand, and I manage to predict that, I can actually utilize Excadrill to abuse the Sand. Excadrill gets Rapid Spin, He has very nice stab with Earthquake and Iron Head. Also, Shadow Claw Excisor can be used to take on certain threats. Stat-wise, HP is good enough so that Excadrill can also be used defensively if it needs to be used. So it's especially in this format, Excadrill is not that one-sided to be only offensive, which is also something I like a lot about Excadrill. Moving on, I picked Gastrodon. Gastrodon is another mon that I have experience from my other league. Also, Gastrodon makes an incredible core with Goodra, with its typing, Water Ground, and Goodra with his ability Sap Sipper is immune to Gastrodon's only weakness. Gastrodon gets a very cool move pool offensively, and what I mean with this is that Ice, Ground, Water, Poison is usually everything you need. Of course, recovery is something that I'm probably gonna bring every time. I can bring Toxic, but you know, these four offensive typings that I mentioned, I can pick the combination of them I need each week to be able to switch in Gastrodon and hit back, and that's what Gastrodon is designed to do. Also, with the Drain, I hit even harder with water type moves. I can probably even bring like maybe do I get Hydro Pump? I don't, but like maybe Surf over Scald if I think that's necessary. But I wanted to pick Gastrodon already because I thought that if I pick Gastrodon now, I still have an option to change my plan of bringing the Rain. But I want Gastrodon because it's going to get sniped pretty soon, and also because it makes that incredible core with Goodra. And I believe I got a snipe with this one as well. I'm not quite sure. Anyway, the next one, Mega Sceptile. I was thinking that I want Mega Aerodactyl for this team, but in general I wanted a fast OUB Mega. And by this time Aerodactyl and Mega Beedrill had been sniped. So I decided that I want to go for my Mega now. I was originally wanting to pick it much later, but I just thought that if I don't get Mega Sceptile, my plans just get too complicated. I'll pick this now. The chance of getting sniped with Politoed or any other member even in my team is very unlikely. The thing with Mega Sceptile is that with Lightning Rod it gets kinda nice core with water types. Of course, Mega Sceptile, it's incredibly fast. It hits 427 with max speed. Outspeeds 98%. of all the moons, I dare to say. It has not the best offensive move pool, but not the worst either. Uh, Dragon pulls his main stab alongside with Leaf Storm and Giga Drain, but it has also the option to go physically offensive. 110 attack is not bad, especially when I have an option to go and Sword Stance. So I can definitely adapt to my opponent with my Mega Sceptile. And I don't know. I was a bit careless during the draft. I didn't realize that we actually don't even have to bring a Mega. So having known that, I probably wouldn't have picked Mega Sceptile, but I'm not regretting this. I feel the speed Mega Sceptile offers me is very cool. My next pick, at this point I was thinking, okay, my next two picks will be Politoed and Armaldo, but which will be the order? I decided I want to go Armaldo first because it didn't look like anyone else was building for rain. And if I took Politoed now, I felt that chance of getting sniped with Armaldo got bigger. So I picked Armaldo, and the thing with him is that he gets Swift Swim. So I can basically use him as an offensive sweeper in rain. You know, even Adamant gets it's this 365 or what is 368, something like that. Very high speed, even with like Adamant in rain. Also, Armado gets Stealth Rock and Rapid Spin. He gets Aqua Jet, which is especially cool in the rain. Knock off. Home Claws maybe. Would not be bad, you know, with Stone Edge and Rain. Rock Polish. Swords Dance. So this is the thing with Armaldo though was that I was a bit afraid that he is too similar to Excadrill. But then I thought of it, and the typings are almost in contrary to each other. Because, maybe not in contrary, but they are quite different. And also, Armaldo has some options that Excadrill doesn't, so I feel I made the right decision with this one. I also get a snipe for this. I think Cassie was going to pick Armaldo. So I'm definitely fine with this, especially because thanks to the fact that I have weather, Armaldo possesses extra threat to opposing teams. Okay, so time to move on to my last 6 picks. Of course, Politoed is the first one of them, and the thing I love about Politoed, Politoed is not necessarily that great himself. Okay, he has nice special defense and okay special attack. He's an average mon when it comes to stats. He gets Drizzle, which is great. He gets Water Absorb, which is also an option to use. He gets Focus Blast and Ice Beam. Pretty much his only offensive choices. Also Encore would be nice. But the thing with Politoed is that with Politoed I can optimize my lower tier picks you know. Such as Armaldo, and you can see here Electrode. I can get so much more power for Electrode if I can use Thunder. Uh, Beartic is a threat when it has an option to go with Swift Swimming Rain, and that was the reason why I love the idea of Politoed so much, because the problem with my original plan when I didn't have Politoed was that I was having a bulky, versatile, but pretty slow team. But with Politoed, I can make two of my Pokemons outspeed everything, and those mons are an NU and PU mon, neither of which are especially weak. So that's the reason why I love Politoed so much. Maybe he, as himself, doesn't really he isn't really worth using 20 points, but when he has an option to bring an 8 and a 4-point monster to be much stronger, I think picking Politoed is definitely worth it. Especially when I have mons such as Excadrill and Gudra to answer to possible counter weathers. Next pick is Mesprit. I really wanted Mesprit for my next pick, and I almost got sniped with it. Luckily, Marseille decided to go with a Gardevoir instead. The reason I wanted Mesprit is because Mesprit gets everything, but mainly Stealth Rock and U-turn. Now, if you have noticed, I have no pivoting options in my team at all so far, and that's why I basically wanted Mesprit, because it's a very, very cool, very versatile mon that gets U-turn, and is also a very good user of it, I think. Mesprit, I feel, is pretty hard to prepare for. It has a very cool move pool. Can do almost anything. Can set up Calm Minds or Nasty Plots. Can be a wall. Here you can see the stats. Base 105 in attack, defense, special attack, and special defense. So pretty solid stats. Also gets Healing Wish, which is great, and knockoff. Okay, so my plan after picking Politoed was that I want to get the same Psychic Dark fighting core that I had in my other league, and the next part of that was Honchkrow. And what I like about Honchkrow is that he gets both Brave Bird and strong Dark type moves, even though the strong Dark type moves don't include knockoff. I don't care. Honchkrow gets Night Slash, Pursuit, Sucker Punch. It can utilize Dark Pulse. Also, I was looking at some of the opposing teams, and I felt that Honchkrow is a wall breaker that can be very effective against certain teams. Honchkrow gets 3 abilities, which in theory each of them can be used against certain mons, but I think Moxie will be my primary thing I will use. Uh, Also, Hariyama is the one that I am using in my other league, and I love this thing. I absolutely love this thing. This is amazing. He gets thick, fat, and guts. Two very, very great abilities. They are so great abilities that sheer force feels kinda useless on this one. Hariyama gets a very cool set of moves, though he does not get Mach Punch or Drain Punch. But he gets Fake Out, he gets Bullet Punch, also every Elemental Punch and Knock Off. So he gets very nice offensive move pool also. I can be either a more defensive one, I can make Hariyama to check certain things, or even hard wall them, or I can just make him a stall breaker or anything in those lines, really. Okay, my next pick was Electrode. Electrode, I was considering Electrode even before I decided to go with Rain, just because he's fast and he gets some interesting things like Aftermath. As you can see, I've seemingly no spin block in my team, but Electrode gets the fastest explosion in the game, which means that if I manage to get Electrode in front of something that I believe is going to use spin or defog, I can boom and they can not remove the hazards. This is a very situational, I'm not probably going to use that at any point. Plus that will kinda make my Aftermath useless, but that's an option. Other than that, Electrode gets quite a weak offensive move pool, but I don't really care because my main purpose of Electrode is to bring him when my opponent has not much electric immunities, so that I can just bolt switch. I can also use Taunt, Magic Coat, Foul Play, moves like that. T-Wave even Electro Ball. Actually, I have to use Electro Ball at some point. I just have to. Because this mon is so fast. Just okay, nothing. I just noticed something. Something very cool. Anyway, I wanted Electrode because of its speed, because it can utilize thunder in the rain, and these are the main reasons, really. It gets Volt, which is my other pivot in this team. My last pick was Beartic. Why? Because of Swift Swim. Offensive Stall Breaker / Sweeper. Really nothing else. He gets Encore, but other than that, he's mainly just pure physical power. Gets Aqua Jet, which is cool, and actually pretty nice offensive move pool. No knockoff, unfortunately, but other than that, very cool offensive set. Plays 100 10 attack. Not the best, but especially if I get an SD up, not bad. Uh, I overall I got very lucky, or I don't know if it was even luck. I made my plan so that it will not be likely to get sniped. But the only monster I really got sniped with was the Latios and the Mega Aerodactyl. I kinda made my final plan after I had picked Gastrodon, if I recall correctly, and after that I didn't get sniped at all. And what are the biggest weaknesses of my team? I have no fire stab, which is a conscious choice because obviously because of the rain. I felt that bringing an offensive fire type mon would be too risky. I have Goodra, I have Clefable, I have Hunchcrow that can still bring very good fire type moves. So it's not like I'm completely crippled on that area. The biggest weakness, honestly, is flying weakness in my team. My only monster that can resist flying are Electrode and Excadrill. But I feel that I have the tools to work around this, so I'm not worried. And also, I feel I got my plan, which I wanted. I have an annoying team to build against. I can basically bring either Stall or Hyper Offense or anything in between, and that's what I wanted. I wanted a versatile team that has a lot of mons that have multiple ways to be used. And I have these mons. I have Clefable and I have Goodra. I have Mesprit, which are extreme example of this. And that's about it for my team. I still want to have a look at some things, namely the mons that did not get picked at all, because there are a few pretty interesting things. First of all, I think this is the second consecutive season that Manaphy did not get picked. As I said, Scizor didn't get picked at all. No Sandmoss got picked, and that includes Mega Tyranitar, Tyranitar, and Hippo. And wow, didn't Cress get picked at all? Cress and Suicune got completely unpicked, as well as Salamence. But what interests me most is that, wow, Zapdos didn't get picked. That's a pretty good mon though. Nidoking and Nidoqueen, both unpicked. They are one of the best mons in this format and nobody picked them. That's insane. Also, Mega Sableye unpicked. Okay. Cool. Yeah, I will probably. My next upload will be Team Builder against Siren. Of course, I won't upload it until the match has been played. But that's something you can expect me doing. But until then, it's Stibe signing out. Bye.